I also have some questions from Yasu that I want to answer today. The first one being, what was my last party like? What did I talk about? What did I do? That kind of stuff. And the last party I went to, I think it was like 2 days ago. So it was right before a baseball game. We were all going out to a baseball game together because it was student night. So tickets were like $10, super cheap, super fun. And we invited like a bunch of our friends. So it was people from my house, people from my friend's house, and we all went over to our friend's house probably around 5 because the game starts at 6. Honestly, that's pretty early for like a party. Most of them don't start until like 10 p.m.-ish. And so, yeah, we went over there and we played some games, we caught up. It was probably only like 10-15 of us to start out with, so very chill, very low-key, especially since we were all friends. I wouldn't even call it that much of a party. It was more of like a kickback, I guess. But yeah, we played some games, we caught up. Some of the people that were going, I'm on a soccer team with them, and we played a game earlier that day. We ended up losing, but we were chatting about that a little bit and how like the rest of our season is gonna go. And then we went over to the baseball game. And that was really fun. Oh my gosh, that was my only second ever baseball game, but my friends got hot dogs and all that, and the atmosphere was super like fun, super high energy. And then we all came back at different times because not everybody stayed the entire game, so we probably didn't see each other all again until like 9 or 10. And because it was later in the day, people were done with work, so there was probably like 35 of us for like the after party, which was really fun. And we played more games. We kind of just like broke into groups and chatted. And oh my god, one of my friends, he made a tres leches cake, which was so good, so all of us split that, especially being like we were all so hungry after the game. But yeah, that was fun. Honestly, I stayed there later than I should have because I'd work the next morning. We stayed up until probably like 2 or 3 a.m. But honestly, like when you go to a party with all your friends, it's so easy to just get caught up chatting with all of them for so long. But yeah, that was really fun. The next question that Yasu has for me is, what does my dad do? So my dad, he works in affordable housing. He's the director of development for the Seattle Housing Authority, and he basically builds and helps plan the development of low-income or affordable housing for low-income families, which I've always thought was super cool. I think he's really passionate about his job, which I enjoy. He's always telling me about it, and I think I've learned so much about just like urban development and planning through him. He's always talking about like the green spaces that he wants to build and like how they're working to make stuff more environmentally friendly, things like that, which has been super cool. I've also met some amazing people through his work, just because sometimes he'll bring me to events and I'll meet people in the community that he serves or people he works with, and they're all super interesting, so yeah. The next question is if I studied a lot in high school, and honestly it was all over the place. By my senior year, I definitely did not study as much as I should have, just because after senior year, a lot of my friends were going to colleges like across the country or, you know, moving away from home. So I was really trying to prioritize having that social time. It was also my last year on my soccer team, so I was spending a lot of time with them. But yeah, I'd say there's a lot of independent work in high school, much more so in college, but yeah, it's really like however committed you are to classes, it reflects in your grades. So yeah, I don't think that there's as much studying in high school as there is in Japan, but I think there's a lot more studying in like college and stuff, just because 90% of the work that you do in college is independent outside of your classes and lectures. So yeah, I'm definitely devoting a lot more time now to studying than I did in high school. Yasu also asked what I did in middle school when I'd hang out with my friends. And honestly, middle school was a while ago, so I'm trying to remember. But I'd say we went to the parks a lot. There were a lot in our neighborhood, so we could kind of meet up and go there. I had this big baking phase in middle school. I loved baking and cooking and stuff like that, so my friends would get together and like we would bake cupcakes or something fun to decorate, and that was definitely a good memory. We watched a lot of movies together. There was this theater by my house that every Tuesday they would sell $6 movie tickets, which was super affordable for us. And so we would go over there and watch whatever movie came out, or we'd go to someone's house and watch that together. But yeah, just kind of whatever the weather allowed, if we could be outside or not, and really whatever we were feeling. Sometimes I would just go over to my friend's house and without a plan, and we would play board games or walk their dog, or I don't know, just hang out. So yeah, really all over the place in middle school. The next question is, how do I spend my time at home? And I live at college right now, but every time I do go home, I try to spend my time with my family as much as I can, or my friends from high school if they're back from college. I went home for spring break probably about a month ago, and that was super fun. I spent a lot of time cooking for myself, because at college I don't always have time to cook for myself. But obviously on break I don't have homework and I don't work, so that was definitely nice to have some time to just self-care, that kind of stuff. I tried to hang out with my mom a little bit. We went to a local park. We went on some hikes, and yeah, kind of all over the place. I like to work out when I go home if I can. We have a treadmill at my house, and my mom has gotten into that recently, so we've been doing some workouts together, which has been fun. And then yeah, when my friends happen to be home from college, we'll hang out too. There's this beach kind of near our house that we always go to, or we'll go thrifting. That's a big one. I love going thrifting with my friends because there's some great thrift stores in Seattle. So yeah, just kind of whatever we're up to. And Yasu also asked, is there something good that's happened recently? And yeah, for sure. I feel like just with the weather improving, people have been in better moods. So it's a lot of good things have been happening. You know, life has been super fast paced, but that's fun. Something that has really stood out is last quarter. So throughout all of winter, one of my really good friends was studying abroad in Spain, and we would write letters to each other, we would FaceTime, and I'm so jealous. It sounds like she had an amazing time, but she came back for spring quarter and we're living together right now. So it's just been really great to have her back. She's a very adventurous person, and we just spending time with her has been really refreshing. So yeah, I'm just really happy to have her back, and that's been a big bonus of spring quarter so far. The next question is there anything I really want to try this year? And this is kind of crazy, but I have these tickets for indoor skydiving. So it's this big wind tunnel, and it shoots wind up from the bottom, and you put on this suit, and then you can basically go skydiving inside, which I think is insane. I'm how is there a business for this? But it looks super cool, and I have the tickets. I just have yet to actually go because it's kind of far away and I have to take the bus. But that I really want to try. I don't have a fear of heights or anything, but I still think it's kind of scary to go skydiving randomly. So I think I just have to get over that and go for it. I don't know. I mean, I already bought the tickets, so half the battle is gone. But yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. The next question is, what do I spend money on the most right now? And honestly, I'm super grateful. My parents are covering my rent this quarter and my tuitions, and I have scholarships, so I don't really have to worry about that. But I am working 3 jobs, so I have some spending money. Most of my money does go towards saving, just because I'm planning on graduating next year and I want to be able to travel a little bit. I want to get my own apartment, and then eventually go to law school, which is going to be expensive. So yeah, most of my money does go towards my savings. But when it doesn't, I do like to go out to eat with my friends. I feel like food is such a good communal experience. So I'll spend money at restaurants, I'll spend money on groceries, that kind of stuff. And then besides that, I love live music so much. And Seattle is such a great place for it. I think that we have such a diverse set of music genres, and we have a lot of music venues for artists to perform at. So we have really big ones, we have really small, intimate ones. Honestly, big diversity of music here. So you can go to like $10 shows, you can go to like $100 shows, whatever, and some really big artists come through here, which is really fun. So I definitely spend some money on music tickets. I went to a house show last week that was really fun, with just like some bands performing. And then this next week I'm going to a concert at kind of near our stadium in Seattle, and it's Empire of the Sun, I think, which will be super fun. A bunch of my roommates are going with me, and then at the end of the week, next week, so the Empire of the Sun concert is on Wednesday, and then I have a rave on Saturday that I'm super excited for. I don't go to raves that often, but one of my friends, he's super into it, and he took me to my first rave last year, and honestly they're super fun. They're kind of intense, but like the people there are amazing, and like the music is really interesting, and I think if you go to like a good venue, then it can be really fun. One of my roommates, she's also going to the rave, and she goes to raves a lot, so she definitely knows her way around. She was giving me all these tips. So yeah, I'd say food, concerts, and entertainment are what I spend my most money on. Yasu also asked me how I deal with stress when I get stressed out. And I think it really depends on my mood. Last quarter, it was winter quarter, so it was super rainy, super cold. I couldn't go outside a lot. And I think being trapped indoors with like homework and work and all that kind of stuff, I definitely got stressed. And I think taking time for myself and just slowing down was huge for me. I would like put in my headphones, listen to music, maybe go like watch a movie or something, just to kind of like escape from whatever was stressing me out, and like take some time to recenter my thoughts and reorganize myself. Right now, I like to take long walks. I always take them like after dinner and stuff like that, but if I'm feeling especially stressed, I'll just like put in my headphones and I'll walk around the city. Maybe I'll take the bus somewhere and like try to find something new. I also, because we live right by the water, I like to go down to like Lake Union or Lake Washington and just kind of like sit in the sun if I can. Maybe I'll go swimming if it's warm enough, although it rarely has been. And yeah, I think that just having spaces to slow down and like recenter yourself and your thoughts has been super important to me and super instrumental in kind of relieving my stress, because I think as a college student with like very competitive academics, managing jobs, managing your social life, thinking about your career, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and stressed out. But having those tools available to me and knowing what works for me is like super important. The next question is about what I did yesterday, and this is going to be kind of boring, but I worked most of the day. So the baseball game that I was talking about happened on Friday, and then yesterday was Saturday. So I had a shift starting at 9 a.m. and I work at like this boat rental place. So I honestly don't mind my shifts in the spring because I get to spend all day on the water. And I like all my coworkers. They're all like college age students. So I started my day there and I worked from 9 to 2. And then from 2 to 7:30, I worked at my other job, which is the gear garage. So it's also a on-campus job, and I just like rent out like technical gear, I guess is the right name for it, but it's like outdoor stuff. So camping supplies, backpacking supplies, we sell yard games, mountaineering stuff, and we rent those out to UW staff and student. So I just kind of worked there. Honestly, both of my shifts were very like low-key, very chill. We didn't have a lot of customers, so I mostly just talked with my coworkers. I studied a little bit, I did some homework, and then I got home, took a shower just because I've been like outside all day, and then I went over to my friend's house and studied for the rest of the day. I have like 2 big midterms coming up next week and then another midterm the week after, so I've been studying for those, like reviewing all my notes. So yeah, and then just went home, had an early bedtime. I was really tired from just like all the weekend activities, so yeah. And the last question is, what am I going to do tomorrow? My Mondays are kind of long, I'm not gonna lie. I have work starting at 7 a.m. So I get up at 6 for that so I can leave by 6:30. And that's a super short shift. It's just 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So 2 hours. But after that, I think I'm gonna go out to breakfast just because I have a little bit of time before my class. And then I think, about midday, my sorority is starting their philanthropy week. So it's just a week full of fundraising activities that members of the Greek community participate in. And we raise money for the Children's Hospital here in Seattle. So our first day of events is starting tomorrow. But yeah, I'm participating in those, and then I have class right after. And that's one of my classes that I have a midterm for that week, so definitely gotta go, definitely gotta pay attention to the lecture because we're reviewing for that test. And yeah, then I come home, I'll have dinner, and we have chapter right after, which is what our sorority calls like our weekly meeting. We just talk about like what's happening for the week, our goals as like a community, that kind of stuff. And that's just like an hour every week that we take to do that as a house. And then, yeah, I will probably, on the UW campus, we have this area called the like maker space, and it's in one of the residential halls, and it's open to all students to come, and it has like sewing supplies, it has art supplies, that kind of stuff, just for like you to have an outlet for creativity. So I'll probably go after chapter, go there, because I have a like dance or a formal thing coming up that I need to dress for, and I have a dress, but I need to like alter it to fit me better. So I'll just go there and use their sewing machines, and then I'll probably just call it a day. Maybe do some studying before bed, but we'll have to see what time it is because I'm always really tired after my days where I have early shifts. So yeah, we'll see.
実践的な英会話を短期間で効率よく身につけたい方は、いろんなアメリカ人の生の英会話を学ぶのが一番です。英会話教材 This is 英会話では、アメリカ人約150人の生の英会話を紹介しています。概要欄に紹介していますので、ぜひ見てください。それでは次回をお楽しみに。